Hello friend, Zachary Stockill here from retroactivejealousy.com. Today I'm answering an email from Paul. Paul writes, my main question is if I get a handle on my retroactive jealousy, will I not have such a strong desire to get even with my girlfriend as far as number of partners go? Thanks for your note, Paul, and the quick answer is, yes. The more work you put in toward overcoming retroactive jealousy, this desire to get even, which is really just your ego running away with you, it starts to really fade away and you start seeing the situation for what it is. You start realizing that the past is the past. What's most important is now, how your girlfriend's treating you now. All the things that I talk about in my blog, my guidebook, my online course. But I want to sort of talk about this idea that I hear a lot of guys talking about in terms of what does sexual experience mean? If one guy's been with 50 women and another's been with 10, who has more sexual experience? That kind of thing. So using these numbers as a metric by which to measure one's sexual experience or one's abilities as a lover is a really flawed way of looking at things. Because just for example, okay, so let's say in the past 2 years, Fred has had sex with 10 different women. They've all been one-night stands. 10 different women, one night each. So Fred has had sex 10 times. I can almost guarantee the sex wasn't very good, but that's beside the point. Fred's had sex with 10 different women in 2 years. Whereas Fred's friend Ted, let's call him Ted, why not? Ted has had a steady girlfriend for 2 years. So the past 2 years, Ted has been with one woman. But they have sex around 3 or 4 times a week. Do the math there. Who has more sexual experience? Who's probably a better lover? I can almost guarantee it's Ted. Because one-night stands, it's often kind of fumbling and the sex isn't great and people are nervous and people are afraid to really open up and it's just a different thing. Whereas sex in a committed relationship can be the most awe-inspiring, gratifying, deeply moving, profoundly life-shifting experience in the world. And if you're having sex with someone for 2 years, you learn a lot about women and biology, how to make sex great and how to keep sex great and all these wonderful things. So, in terms of measuring sexual experience, consider that when you're considering your own sexual experience. If you're with a good woman over a long period of time, she will teach you so much about sex and women and dating. And that counts for a hell of a lot more in my book than the guy who's just running around, with having sex with random women, but never really going deep, never really learning about them and understanding them and really learning about what makes an incredible lover. So for any man concerned about his own level of sexual experience, just my opinion, but I would advise you to think about quality rather than quantity. And this is becoming more and more and more true for me and more obvious to me the older I get. I've always known this, but it's become clearer and clearer to me over time that that's what's really important. And by the way, I'm sure about 99% of women watching this would probably agree. I don't mean to speak for women, but I think most women would rather be with a guy who has some in-depth experience with one woman than a guy who's had, kind of fleeting experiences with maybe 5, 6, or 7. Again, depth is what a lot of women are into. Depth and real knowledge and experience. And that kind of experience can really only come in the confines of an exclusive relationship. Thanks again for your email. If anyone watching this found this helpful, please be sure to click the like button below. Also be sure to subscribe to my channel. I'll talk to you again very soon.